Alright guys, in today's video, I am going to teach you how to integrate a subscribe button to your blog website. I know that most of you must have come across many YouTube channels where you have subscribe button that someone can just easily click on and subscribe to your channel. And that is the same thing I am going to teach you how to integrate to your blog website in this particular video today. And I know you must have also come across many websites that have a newsletter where a visitor can fill in his email address, then click on subscribe button to subscribe to that particular blog website. And the advantage of integrating this newsletter or subscribe button to your blog website is, for example, as regards to the travel blog website we are using as an example in this tutorial. Like if you have gone to some new destinations and you want to write an article about those new destinations you have visited, and you want to give the subscribers of your blog website a notice that you have published a new blog article concerning that particular new destinations. So for that, you are going to write a newsletter for them. And how to do that is very simple. And I'm going to teach you all of that in this particular video. So now let me assume that you have logged on to your WordPress dashboard. So now as you have logged on to your WordPress dashboard, then the very first thing you need to do is to install a plugin, a newsletter plugin. So that is why I will navigate down to plugins and click on add new plugin. Now here on the plugins search input, I will search for newsletter. Then you will be presented with a lot of newsletter plugins that you can use to implement a newsletter subscribe form to your website. But the one we are going to make use of for the sake of this tutorial is this one by Stefano, Lisa, and the newsletter team. So I'm going to come up here and click on install now on this one. Then after installation, I will go ahead and click on activate. So now it's activated. So now as it's activated, what I'm going to do now is to come up here and refresh this browser. Then after refreshing it, you will now see the newsletter tool by the left panel here. So just hover your mouse there and come down to click on settings. Now here on the settings, here we are here on the general. First of all, let's leave it the way it is and come up here and click on setup wizard. So now here you can go ahead and click on next. Then here, as you can see, it will display the title of your blog. So if it's not correct, you can go ahead and edit it. And this is your newsletter email address, as you can see, newsletter at yourblogwebsite.com. Now all you need to do is to go ahead and click on next. So here it will ask you if you want to ask the subscribers for their name. I will switch on yes, and also ask them to check the privacy checkbox. I will also switch it on. Then come down and click on next. So now it says subscription and edit page creation. We've just created page where your visitors will subscribe and where they will edit their preferences. So perfect. All we need to do is to come down and click on next. And now this is time for some tests. So here you can test if the subscribe form is working perfectly. All you need to do is to fill in your email address if it's not already there or if it's not correct. Then come under it and click on send a test message. And now click on OK. Now the test email has been sent to your email inbox. So all you need to do is to go over to your email inbox, be it Gmail or whatever. Now you will see the email sent from them. As you can see it here, this is an HTML test email sent using the sender data set on newsletter main settings. Okay, so this proves that the newsletter form is working perfectly. So we come back here again. What we're going to do is to come down and click on next because we have seen that the form is working perfectly. So click on next. Now here it will ask you if you want to add the newsletter widget to your sidebar. You can come down and click on take me to my widget settings. Then add it to your sidebar if you want to, but I don't want to add it to the sidebar of my blog website. I want to choose where I am going to add it by myself, and where I want to add it is in the footer. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and click on next. So now this is the dashboard of the newsletter plugin you have just activated on your blog website. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and add this newsletter that we have created to our blog website and to the section where we want to add it to, which for the sake of this tutorial, I mentioned earlier that I'm going to be adding it to the footer. Okay, so for that, as we are here now, I will navigate to appearance and go to customize. So now here on the customization section, as you know that we are going to add the newsletter subscribe form here in the footer. So for that, here in the left section, I will come here and click on footer. Now in the footer, as you can see that we have the top section row, the middle section row, and the bottom section row. So now on the top row, we are going to add widgets into it. So for that, here on the left panel, I'll click and drag the widget area 1 and place it in the first column here on the top row. Then drag the widget area 2 and place it here on the second column here on the top row. Okay, so perfect. Now go away from this customization section by clicking here. Then you'll be brought back to your WordPress dashboard. Now I will navigate down to appearance and click on widgets. So here on our widgets area, if you come down here now, you can see the footer widgets area 1. I will expand it. So once I expand it, I will now click on this add block cross icon. Then I'll first of all select heading. And what I want to do here is that in the footer widget area 1, I want to write something about this blog website or about the person publishing this article of all these travel destinations. Maybe I might say something like about the travel freaky guy. Then now I hit enter on my keyboard to come under this heading. Now I'm going to type just a little write up about the person, okay, or about the blog website, as you can see here. So now, perfect. Then if you remembered in the customization section here that I added widget area 1 in the first column and widget area 2 in the second column. So that is why if you come here now, what I'm going to do is to toggle this up. Then you see the widget area 2. That is the column 2 that contains the widget area 2. So what I'm going to do is to expand it. Now click on the add block cross icon. Then I will select group, then select one column group. Then inside the group, I will click on the add block cross icon. So now I will click on browse all, then search for newsletter. So the one I'm searching for is called newsletter subscription form. That is it here. I will select it. So now you can see it's active here. And with that, you can now come up here and click on update. If you happen to go back to your website right now and refresh this page, now come down here now, you see the newsletter here with its subscribe button. So let's go back and tweak it more to make it more beautiful. So coming back here now on our widgets area. Now, if you come over here to the form settings, you can see by default here on the form type is on minimal. So let's suppose we make use of full. Now come up here and click on update. Then if you go back to your website right now and refresh this page, you can see the difference between the full and minimal. So it depends on you, whichever one you want to make use of. So now as it is here, let's say that yours does not have a background color yet, that there is a lot of space here, which sometimes we can regard as a bottom padding. And maybe you want to make it like this my own here now, as it is, that this section is bigger and this place is smaller. So in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to go to our customization section. It's either you click here on the customize, or let's say from here on your dashboard, come here and click on customize. Now on the customization section here, we come here and click on footer. So here, as you can see, that the widgets are here on the top row. So if I hover my mouse here on the top row, then I come up here and click on the top row settings. So maybe on your own, the columns layout is like this, equal columns. So if I select it now and come up here and click on publish, then go back to our website and refresh this page, you can see this is how it is. And as you can see, there is a lot of spaces here, and I don't want it like this. So that is why I will come back here and select this one. So perfect. So now if you come up here and click on publish, then go back to your website, refresh this page, you will now see this is how it's looking. And this is how we are going to leave it for the sake of this tutorial. So back here again, let's say you want to give it a background color of your choice. Then you can come up here and click on the design tab. You come down to the row background color and click on the color palette. Then you can change it to any color of your choice. So let's say I make it a little bit grayish. So perfect. Now let's say the text color, you want to change it. You come up here and click on the widget font color palette. You just change it to any color of your choice. Okay, then all the text here will be white except this one, which we are going to change the color from the Gutenberg editor. Then one other thing is here on the column divider. We have a column divider here. Like if you scroll down here now, columns divider, you can see it here is one. Like if you happen to increase it to something like 6, you can see the divider here. Okay, so if you change the color, like let's say to white, you can see it here. So what I'm going to do is to reduce it to 1, and then just as you can see it here, if you don't like the straight solid line, you can click here and change it to dotted or change it to this one or whichever one, but I'm going to use the solid for the sake of this tutorial. But if you don't need it, you can click on none, then it's gone. Okay, so by default it's always on none. So if you need it, you just click and select the one you need and click on the color palette and choose the color of your choice. Now you can reduce it to, let's say, 1, as this is what I'm going to do. And I also want to reduce the color to a lighter color. So if I click on the color palette, I will bring it down like this to be a bit lighter. So perfect. Then I will now come up here now and click on publish. Then if you go back to your website right now and refresh this page, you see now this is how it's looking. So the only thing that is left here is the color of this text, which we are going to make to be white. So for that, we are going to come back to our widget area here. Here is our widget area. So I'm going to come back here and expand this widget area 1 because that is where it is, as you can see it here. Now I'm going to click on it, then it's active. Now I will come over to the right panel and click on the text color palette. Now I will change it to white. Then come up here now and click on update. Now if you go back to your website right now, here and refresh this page, you can now see that the heading is now a white color and everything is looking perfectly in good shape. So now let's just go ahead and test this subscribe form. So for that, I just come here in the input and fill in a name and the email address. Then come under it and check this box. I accept the privacy policy. Then click on subscribe. Now, as you can see, it says your subscription has been confirmed, which means you have subscribed to this particular blog website. And as you see, it says it's confirmed. You can see this visible only to administrators. This text up here will only be seen by you as the administrator, but any visitor of your website or any person who has subscribed to your blog website will not see this first visible only to administrators text. Okay, so now let's go back to our dashboard and see if the person really subscribed. I come back here on my dashboard. What I'm going to do is to come down here and click on newsletter. Then you'll be brought here. As you can see, we have 2 total subscribers. If I scroll down now, you see the subscribers here confirmed, and you can see the last one that just subscribed, chinedu@yahoo.com. So perfect. But what if that after you have gotten so many subscribers and now you want to publish a post and you want all your subscribers to get notified on the new post you have published? So how do you do that? So for that, as we are still here on our dashboard, what I'm going to do is to navigate to newsletter and click on newsletters. Then here I will come up and click on add new. So now it will present us a pre-made template, which are all these. So I'm going to just scroll down and select last news from your blog. Then this is the template here, just as you can see how it looks. Then as you see the template here, starting from the top, this is your logo and this is the title of your blog website. But should in case you don't need the logo and the title, as you hover on it, you just come here and click on this times to delete it. And that is how it goes with every one of them that you don't want to send to your subscribers. Like here you can see what it says, that this is latest post. post from your blog title, the title of your blog. So that is how it's going to display to the person the title of your blog. Then it will show the person the post. Okay. So, but let's suppose here on the post that you want to edit the title. So you just hover on it and click on edit. Then you can see you just edit it and add your own text. Same thing on the paragraph body content of the post. You can just click on it and edit it or even add a custom text. Okay. Once you're done, you mark the check mark button. So, and don't forget to come up here and add a subject. So this subject is going to be our latest blog post, for example. Okay. So once everything is done properly, all you can do is to come up here and click on next. Now here, just come up and click on send now and click on OK. And now, as you can see, it's now sending your newsletters to your subscribers. Once it's finished sending, if the subscribers go to their email inbox, then they will see all the latest posts that you have just sent to them, just as you can see. So let's say they want to read any one of the posts, they can just come and click on this read more button and they will be brought to the single page of that particular blog post. So now back here on the customer's email inbox. So as the customer received the latest post newsletter from your website, then maybe the person wants to manage his subscription. So he can come down here. If he wants to unsubscribe, he can click on unsubscribe. But if he wants to manage it, he can just click on manage your subscription. Then he will be brought to this place where he can go on and edit his name and also choose if he's a woman or a man, for example. And you can see you can also change your email address, and if you change it, confirmation will be sent to that email for you to activate. Or you come down and cancel your subscription if you want to. So after every editing, make sure you click on save. So that's perfect. Now you as a blog owner, I would suggest you come back to your dashboard, then come down to newsletter and click on dashboard. Now here, hover on the settings and click on general settings. Then make sure here you fill in everything that is needed to be filled, and also delivery speed. You can reduce it to 10 if your server is too slow. And the same thing with coming up and clicking on company and try to fill in your company social media accounts, and also click on general. You can here fill in the logo of your blog website, edit the title of your blog website, and everything including your company name, address, copyright or legal text. So with all this being said, that brings us to the end of this particular video today on how to include a subscription form to your blog website. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next videos.